Today we're taking a look at my affinity for Nike Safari sneakers. But first, we got to go back in time. Tinker Hatfield was in the lab in 1987, where one of his most slept on designs, the Air Safari, was created. Reason being, they dropped the same year as some of the more iconic Nike sneakers. They dropped alongside the Nike Air Trainer 1, one of Tinker's also very good sneakers to be created of the time. And it also included my favorite Nike sneaker of all time, the Air Max 1. Probably the number one Nike sneaker of all time. The Air Pack also included the Nike Air Sock. Now, we really don't hear much about this sneaker these days, but it was included in that era. The Air Max 1 is probably my favorite sneaker of all time. I've said that many times. But I'm also grateful for the creation of the Air Safari because without it, I wouldn't have some of my favorite shoes ever. In 2003, Atmos and Nike collaborated to create the Air Max 1B Safari, paying homage to the Air Safari and the culture in Japan. It was just something that came out of left field. It was just very different at the time. Now, here is the 2016 version of the Air Max 1 Safari. There are a few differences, but still has some of the same makeup and design cues. The mini swoosh really just sets off the Air Max 1 Safari. I mean, it makes any Air Max 1 fan gush. One of the things it was most known for was the different colors of the checks. You had a one color on the outside and also another color on the medial side of the shoe, and it just added to the contrast that this sneaker had in colors. Like it was just they all fit together. Now the original Air Max 1B Safari, you had canvas, similar to what the SBs that dropped in 2020 had. It was never before seen at that time. A lot of people were upset at the retro for the fuzzy suede. I mean, it give it a funky look, and I'm weird, so I was all for it. It also had a icy sole, which differed from the gum bottom on the original pair, but again, I was cool with the change. The creation of the Air Safari in '87, and then Atmos taking that and freaking it into making it an Air Max 1 in '03 just really paved the way for some of my favorite sneakers in my collection. Um, the dunk that was created last year in 2020 just really nailed it as far as creating a shoe that was pretty much accurate to the original Safari. When I caught wind of my favorite ball player of all time collaborating with Atmos to make their rendition to make his take his spin of this color, this movement of sorts, man, I was stoked. And when the first pictures were revealed, I was like, oh yeah, like I have to get them, and I did. They ended up even hitting the outlets, which was crazy. I wish I would have doubled up on them, but it was even executed well in this realm on a basketball sneaker. Like that was dope within itself. And then it was just like also it had a few more different design cues like the zipper. That was a nice subtle touch to make this shoe LeBron's own shoe. Now, when Nike gave us the opportunity last year out of left field to take this Safari colorway and put them on an Air Force One, like I almost lost my shit. Like it was just so dope, especially everything that we went through last year in 2020 with the pandemic and everything. And to give us these options and its quality, you know. So of course I bid at the opportunity and work with the options, the color options and blockings that they gave us to make this Nike ID. Um, went with the icy outsole, comparable to the sole that was on the retro of the Air Max One Safari. And man, I was just very happy at how that shoe turned out on Nike ID. So that just about wraps it up. A video dedicated to the Air Safari, and not one Air Safari was featured. um, I have never pulled the trigger on a pair. I remember they retroed about 3 years ago. I should have. I did not. I had it in carts multiple times. I did not. I regret it because, resale has taken it and blown it out of proportion. But I do plan to go back and just go ahead and cop a pair. Probably the original like carrot colorway. I won't even really just mess with the Safari colorway, especially like I said, resale is crazy. And they probably will retro again in a few years. I hope so. But yeah, man, I'm thankful that Tinker created the Air Safari in '87 and the Air Max One in '87, and that it became a best of both worlds in '03. And from there, it has sparked reiterations of that same shoe and that silhouette, and it has crossed over into the skating scene. It has crossed over into basketball. It has crossed over into being able to put it on Air Force Ones, and there are plenty other versions of the Safari colorway, in different silhouettes. I promise you, I was not gonna take the time to, I did not have the time, I should say, to track down every pair. I don't know about every pair of sneakers that exist in the world. So if you do, hit me up, let me know. I will be very interested to see. But I just know that this colorway is just, if it's on a shoe, I will take a look at it because it's up there with like the leopard and cheetah prints on the other Safari Atmos shoes and Animal Pack and things of that nature. So thank y'all for tuning in today. Until next time, peace.